The morning started like any other morning. Emma was crying in her crib, hungry for her 6 a.m. feeding. Olivia dragged herself out of bed, exhausted from another sleepless night. Emma was 4 months old now, and sleep was still a distant memory. She reached for Liam's side of the bed, out of habit, but found it cold, empty. He must have already left for work. Another early morning meeting, another crisis at the company, another day where she'd barely see him. Olivia picked up Emma, settled into the nursing chair, and let her daughter feed while she dozed against the cushions. The penthouse was silent except for Emma's soft sounds. Too silent. After feeding Emma, Olivia wandered into the kitchen to make coffee. That's when she saw it. An envelope on the marble counter, her name written in Liam's handwriting. Her heart dropped. Something was wrong. Liam didn't leave notes, he sent texts, quick, efficient messages between meetings. With trembling hands, Olivia opened the envelope. The letter inside was short, devastatingly short. Olivia, I can't do this anymore. I thought I could be a husband, a father, balance everything, but I can't. I'm drowning. Every day I wake up feeling like I'm failing at everything. The company, you, Emma. Especially Emma. I look at her and I see responsibility I'm not ready for. I see a future I never chose. I see my father looking at me with disappointment, telling me I'm not man enough to handle it all. I need space. Time to figure out who I am without all this pressure. I know that makes me a coward. I know I'm abandoning you, but I can't breathe anymore. I can't be what everyone needs me to be. There's money in the account. Enough for you and Emma for a while. I'll send more. I'll figure out support, custody, all of it. But I need time away. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Liam. Olivia read it 3 times before the words sank in. He left. Liam left her. Left Emma. Just walked away. She called him immediately, straight to voicemail. She tried again, and again, and again. Each time, the person you're trying to reach is not available. Panic rising, Olivia called his office. Blackwood Industries, how may I help you? This is Olivia Blackwood. I need to speak to my husband. It's an emergency. I'm sorry, Mrs. Blackwood, but Mr. Blackwood called this morning to say he's taking an indefinite leave of absence. He's not in the office. What? Where is he? I'm not at liberty to say, ma'am. I'm sorry. Olivia hung up, her hands shaking so badly she dropped the phone. He really left. He really abandoned them. Emma started crying again. She could sense her mother's distress. Olivia picked her up automatically, pacing the enormous penthouse that suddenly felt like a prison. What was she supposed to do? How could he just leave? She tried his parents. His mother answered. Mrs. Blackwood, it's Olivia. Have you heard from Liam? A long pause. He called us this morning, said he needed time away. Did you know? Did you know he was planning to leave? Another pause. Longer this time. He's been struggling, Olivia. We could see it. The pressure was too much. So you knew and you didn't warn me. Didn't tell me my husband was about to abandon me and his daughter? That's not fair. Fair? He left us. He just walked away like we're nothing. Olivia was crying now, Emma wailing in her arms. Where did he go? You have to tell me where he is. I don't know. He said he needed space. He'll reach out when he's ready. When he's ready? What about what Emma needs? What I need? Olivia, I understand you're upset. Upset? I'm not upset. I'm devastated. My husband just walked out on his family and you're defending him? Lower your voice. You're being hysterical. Something in Olivia snapped. Don't you dare tell me I'm being hysterical. My husband just abandoned me with a 4-month-old baby. I think I'm entitled to be upset. She hung up before Liam's mother could respond. The next few days passed in a blur of shock and survival mode. Olivia barely ate, barely slept. She went through the motions, feeding Emma, changing diapers, keeping them both alive, but inside she was numb. Friends called. Her mother came over immediately. "Pack your tings. You're coming to stay with me." "I can't, Mom. This is our home, Liam's home. When he comes back, if he comes back." Her mother's voice was gentle but firm. "Honey, you need support. You can't do this alone in this huge place. He said there's money in the account. We'll be fine." But when Olivia checked their bank account, her blood ran cold. The account that usually had hundreds of thousands of dollars now had $5,000. $5,000 to support her and Emma indefinitely. She called the bank, frantically explaining that there must be a mistake. "No mistake, Mrs. Blackwood. Mr. Blackwood transferred most of the funds to a separate account 3 days ago. He left $5,000 in the joint account with a note that said it was for immediate expenses." 3 days ago. He'd planned this. While she was feeding her daughter, rocking her to sleep, believing they were a family, he'd been planning to leave. Olivia hung up and started laughing, hysterical, broken laughter that turned into sobs. $5,000 in one of the most expensive cities in the world, with a baby, with no job. She'd left her work to focus on Emma, with no recent work experience. Who would hire her? And then it hit her. The penthouse. They didn't own it. It was a rental, a luxury rental that cost $8,000 a month. She couldn't afford 1 month's rent. Panic set in fully now. She went through every drawer, every document, trying to understand their financial situation. The prenup she'd signed without reading carefully came back to haunt her. In case of separation, each party retained what they brought to the marriage. She had brought nothing. No assets, no money, no property. Everything was his. The nanny they had hired paid through Liam's account, no longer affordable. The groceries delivered weekly, same account, gone. The health insurance for Emma? Through Liam's company. She'd have to figure out how to get her own. Her phone buzzed. A text from the building management. "Mrs. Blackwood, this month's rent is overdue. Please remit payment by end of week to avoid late fees." Olivia looked around the penthouse, the expensive furniture, the designer nursery, the life of luxury she had never asked for but had gotten used to, and realized with crushing certainty she was about to lose everything. She had 1 week to come up with $8,000 she didn't have. She had a 4-month-old baby depending on her. She had a husband who'd vanished without a trace, and she had absolutely no idea how she was going to survive. That night, after putting Emma to sleep, Olivia sat on the floor of the nursery and cried until she had no tears left. Then she pulled herself together, wiped her face, and made a decision. She couldn't stay here. She couldn't afford this life. She would have to start over, from nothing. Just like before she'd met Liam. Except this time, she had a daughter to protect. A daughter whose father had abandoned her like she meant nothing. Olivia looked at Emma, sleeping peacefully in her expensive crib, and whispered, "I promise you, baby girl. I promise I'll figure this out. I won't let us fall apart. I won't let you go hungry. I won't let you feel abandoned. Even if your father already has," she thought bitterly. The next morning, Olivia started packing. Not everything. She couldn't take the furniture, couldn't take most of Emma's things. Just the essentials. Clothes, diapers, a few toys. She called her mother. "I'm coming to stay with you, just for a little while, until I figure things out." "Of course, honey, of course. Come home." Home. Her mother's tiny 2-bedroom apartment, where Olivia would share a room with Emma, where there was barely space for the two of them, let alone a baby. But it was shelter. It was free. It was survival. As Olivia took one last look at the pet house, at the life she had lived for 8 months, the fairy tale that had turned into a nightmare, she felt something shift inside. The girl who'd gotten lost in a storm and stumbled into a millionaire's car was gone. The woman who'd relied on Liam to save her
to provide for her, to be her partner, was gone too. Now she was just Olivia, a single mother with nothing but $5,000, a baby, and a determination to survive. She didn't know how she'd do it, but she'd figure it out. She had to. For Emma.
Olivia's mother's apartment was exactly as Olivia remembered. Small, worn, but clean. The same faded couch, the same tiny kitchen, the same cramped bedroom where Olivia had grown up. "You can have your old room," her mother said, helping carry Emma's things inside. "I cleaned it out for you." The room was barely big enough for a bed, let alone a bed plus a crib. They ended up putting Emma's crib in the corner, which left just enough space to walk sideways between the furniture. "It's perfect, Mom. Thank you." But it wasn't perfect. It was crushing. Going from a 3,000 square foot penthouse to a room she could cross in 4 steps felt like drowning. Still, Olivia was grateful. At least they had a roof over their heads. The first week, Olivia focused on surviving. She applied for government assistance, WIC for formula since her stress had killed her milk supply, food stamps, Medicaid for Emma's health insurance. The paperwork was endless, the offices crowded and overwhelming, but she pushed through. She applied for jobs, anything she could. Olivia stood outside the Riverside Community Center at 1:45 p.m., Emma strapped to her chest in a worn baby carrier. She'd agonized over what to wear. Her nice clothes from her old life were gone, sold for formula money. She'd settled on the best outfit she had left. Black pants that were a bit too big now. She'd lost weight from skipping meals. A white button-up blouse her mother had ironed, and flats that were comfortable enough to walk in since she couldn't afford the bus. She'd walked 40 minutes to get here, Emma sleeping against her chest the whole way. "We can do this," she whispered to Emma. "We have to do this." Inside the community center was busy. Kids running around after school programs, elderly people in an exercise class, the sounds of life and activity that felt foreign after weeks of isolation in her mother's quiet apartment. "Can I help you?" A woman at the front desk smiled warmly. "I'm Olivia Blackwood. I have an interview with Jennifer at 2. "Oh, yes, let me get her. And what a beautiful baby," the woman cooed at Emma. "Thank you." Olivia tried to smile, but she was too nervous. A few minutes later, a woman in her 50s approached. She had kind eyes and a warm smile. "Olivia, I'm Jennifer, the center director. Come on back." She paused, noticing Emma. "I see you brought your daughter. How old is she?" 5 months. "I'm so sorry. I should have mentioned. I don't have childcare right now, but I'm working on it, and she's a good baby. She barely cries." "Breathe," Jennifer said gently. "It's fine. I have 3 kids of my own. I understand. Come on." Jennifer's office was small but cheerful, filled with photos of community events and children's artwork. Olivia sat down, gently adjusting Emma in the carrier. "So, tell me about yourself," Jennifer began. Olivia had prepared for this. She'd practiced in front of the mirror that morning. "I have experience in customer service. I worked 2 jobs before—" She paused, unsure how to explain. "Before I had Emma. I'm organized, good with people, fast learner. I'm reliable, and I really need this job." That last part wasn't supposed to come out, but it did. Jennifer looked at her thoughtfully. "You were married to Liam Blackwood." Olivia's stomach dropped. You know? It's a small community. And you were in the news when you got married." Jennifer's voice was gentle, not judgmental. "Are you still together?" Olivia debated lying, but what was the point? "No. He left. 2 months ago. It's just me and Emma now." "I'm sorry." "I don't need pity. I need a job." Olivia tried to keep her voice steady. "I know I don't have recent work experience. I know showing up with a baby isn't professional, but I'm desperate. I'll work any hours, do any tasks. I just need a chance." Jennifer was quiet for a moment. "This position pays $15 an hour. It's part-time, 25 hours a week. No benefits. Is that going to be enough for you?" Olivia did the math quickly. $375 a week, $1,500 a month.
It wasn't much, but it was more than she had now. Yes, it's enough. Can you start Monday? Olivia's heart stopped. You're offering me the job? I am. We need someone organized, someone who cares about community, someone who won't quit after 2 weeks because they found something better. Jennifer smiled. You need this job? That means you'll work hard. That's what I need. What about Emma? I can't afford childcare yet, not until my first paycheck. We have a daycare program here. It's $50 a week, but I can waive the first 2 weeks to get you started. After that, you can pay from your check. Olivia felt tears building. Why are you being so kind to me? Because I've been where you are. 20 years ago, my husband left me with 3 kids under 5. I had no job, no money, no options. Someone gave me a chance, and it saved my life. I'd try to pay that forward when I can. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't thank me yet. The work is hard. The pay is lousy. And some of the people who come through here can be challenging. Jennifer pulled out paperwork. But if you're willing to work, I'm willing to give you a shot. Olivia signed everything Jennifer put in front of her, her hands trembling. She had a job. After 8 weeks of desperation, of hunger, of terror, she had a job. One more thing, Jennifer said, as Olivia was leaving. There's a food pantry that operates out of the center on Saturdays. You're welcome to use it. No shame, no judgment. I've already been to one, Olivia admitted quietly. Then you know there's no shame in needing help. Jennifer walked her to the door. See you Monday, 8 a.m. And Olivia, you're going to be okay. I can tell. You're a survivor. Olivia walked out of the community center with Emma, and for the first time in months, she felt like maybe, just maybe, they really would be okay. The walk home was lighter despite her exhaustion. She called her mother immediately. Mom, I got it. I got the job. Her mother's joy was audible through the phone. Oh, honey, that's wonderful. When do you start? Monday. And they have daycare, Mom. Cheap daycare. I can actually do this. That night, Olivia ate a full meal without guilt. She held Emma and told her about the job, about how things were going to get better. Mommy is going to work. We're going to have money for food and diapers. We're going to be okay, baby girl. I promise. Emma gurgled happily, grabbing Olivia's finger with her tiny hand. The weekend before starting her job, Olivia went to a thrift store. With her last $20, she bought 2 more professional outfits for work. They were worn but clean. Good enough. Sunday night, she could barely sleep from nerves and excitement. A job. A real job. A chance to build something, to provide for Emma, to stop drowning. Monday morning came. Olivia dropped Emma at the daycare center. The separation was harder than she expected, but Emma seemed content with the caregiver and reported to Jennifer's office. Ready? Jennifer asked. Ready, Olivia confirmed. The work was exactly as Jennifer described. Hard. Olivia answered phones, managed schedules, dealt with complaints, helped coordinate programs. The community center served low-income families, homeless individuals, struggling seniors. Everyone who came through the doors was fighting their own battle. Olivia understood them. She was one of them. During her lunch break, she'd run to the daycare to check on Emma, spend 15 precious minutes holding her, then reluctantly return to work. The first week was exhausting. Her feet ached from being on them all day. Her head hurt from learning new systems. But she showed up every day, on time, ready to work. Friday came, her first paycheck. $375 before taxes, $320 after. It wasn't much, but it was hers. Money she had earned. Not Liam's money, not charity, not government assistance. Hers. She cashed the check and went straight to the grocery store. She bought formula, diapers, real food. She bought vegetables and fruit and meat. She bought herself a decent meal for the first time in weeks. At the register, when the total came to $87, Olivia didn't panic. She had money. She could afford it. Walking home with bags of groceries, Emma in the carrier, Olivia felt something she hadn't felt since Liam left. Pride. She was doing it. She was surviving. She was providing for her daughter. Without Liam, without his money, without his family. She was doing it alone. And slowly, day by day, paycheck by paycheck, things started to get better. Not easy, never easy, but better.
3 months into her job at the community center, Olivia had developed a routine. Wake up at 6 a.m., feed Emma, get them both ready. Drop Emma at daycare by 8:45. Work from 9 to 2. Quick lunch break to visit Emma. Work from 2:30 to 5. Pick up Emma, go home, dinner, playtime, bedtime routine, collapse. Repeat. It was exhausting, but it was stable. Olivia's paychecks covered their basic needs now. Formula, diapers, food. Her mother insisted she didn't need to pay rent, but Olivia gave her $200 a month anyway. It wasn't much, but it was something. She was still living in her old bedroom, still sharing the tiny space with Emma. But they were fed. They were warm. They were surviving. Liam still hadn't called, hadn't texted, hadn't sent any support payments. It had been 5 months since he left. Olivia had tried to contact him through his office, through his parents, through old friends. Nothing. It was like he disappeared from the face of the earth. Part of Olivia was still heartbroken, still couldn't believe the man she'd loved, the man who'd held their daughter and promised to be there, had just walked away like they meant nothing. But another part, the part that was growing stronger every day, was angry. She'd filed for child support through the courts. The process was slow, bureaucratic, frustrating, but she'd done it. Liam owed Emma. He didn't get to just vanish. It can take months, the family court advisor had warned her, sometimes years. And if he's hiding his assets or location, it can be even harder. "I'll wait," Olivia had said firmly, "however long it takes." At work, Jennifer had become more than a boss. She'd become a mentor, a friend, almost a second mother. "You're doing great, Olivia. You've been here 3 months and you're already invaluable. I'm thinking of offering you more hours." "Really?" Olivia's heart lifted. More hours meant more money. "Really? And there's something else." Jennifer pulled out a folder. "We'd have a scholarship program for employees who want to go back to school. Community college, vocational training, whatever you need to advance your career. Room and board isn't covered, but tuition is." Olivia stared at the paperwork. "I don't understand." "You're smart, Olivia. Too smart to be stuck as an administrative assistant forever. What did you want to be before life got complicated?" "I wanted—" Olivia hesitated. It felt silly to admit dreams now. "I wanted to own a bookstore, but I also thought about teaching, working with kids." "Early childhood education," Jennifer said immediately. "There's a program at Riverside Community College, 2-year degree. You could work here part-time while studying. We need good teachers in our daycare program." "I can't afford college." "That's what the scholarship is for. Look, I'm not going to pressure you, but think about it. You're 27. You have time to build a career, to create stability for Emma. Don't just survive, live." That night, Olivia looked at the scholarship application while Emma played on a blanket at her feet. Could she really do this? Go back to school while working and raising a baby alone? It seemed impossible, but so had surviving these past few months, and she'd done that. "What do you think, Emma? Should Mommy try?" Emma babbled happily, grabbing her own toes. She took it as a yes. She filled out the application that night. 2 weeks later, she was accepted into the program. Classes would start in the fall, 4 months away. She'd take 2 classes at a time, mostly online with some evening sessions. It would take 3 years instead of 2, but she'd get her degree. A degree, a future, a career. Not just a job, but a purpose. Olivia started planning, budgeting every dollar, figuring out how to make it work. She cut expenses everywhere she could, bought clothes at thrift stores, cooked every meal at home, walked instead of taking the bus when possible. She stopped checking her phone obsessively, hoping Liam would call. stopped wondering where he was or what he was doing, stopped giving him space in her head. He'd made his choice. Now she was making hers. Emma turned 6 months old, then 7. She started sitting up on her own, started eating solid foods, started babbling more. Every milestone Olivia documented in a journal she'd started keeping. "Your daddy isn't here," she wrote one night, "but I am. I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to make sure you have everything you need. Maybe not everything you want, Mommy can't afford much right now, but you'll have love and stability and a mother who fights for you every single day." At work, Olivia got promoted to full-time, 35 hours a week. The extra hours meant Emma spent more time in daycare, but it also meant an extra $300 a month, money for savings, for emergencies, for the future. Slowly, Olivia's bank account grew. $500, then $800, then $1,000. It wasn't much compared to the money she'd had access to when she was married to Liam, but it was hers. Every dollar earned through her own work, her own effort. She started volunteering at the community center on weekends.
6 months later, Olivia walked across the small stage at Riverside Community College to receive her certificate in early childhood education, first step toward her degree. Her mother was in the audience, holding 1-year-old Emma, both cheering loudly. Olivia had completed her first year of classes while working full-time. It had been exhausting, but she'd done it. And now opportunities were opening up. Jennifer offered her a promotion, lead teacher in the daycare program, $18 an hour, full benefits, and Emma could attend for free. "You've earned this," Jennifer said warmly. "You're not just surviving anymore, Olivia, you're thriving." She was right. Slowly but surely, Olivia had built a life. Not the life she'd imagined when she married Liam. No penthouse, no luxury, no fairy tale, but a real life, one she'd created through hard work, determination, and love for her daughter. She'd moved into her own apartment, tiny but hers. She and Emma had their own space now, decorated with thrift store finds and DIY projects. It wasn't fancy, but it was home. Liam had signed the child support papers. He sent monthly payments now, through lawyers, through the court system, never directly. He'd asked for visitation rights, but Olivia had fought it. Not permanently, but until he proved consistency. "He can't just show up when it's convenient," she'd told the judge. "Emma needs stability. If he wants to be her father, he needs to prove he won't disappear again." The judge agreed. Supervised visitation once a month until Liam demonstrated commitment. Olivia didn't know if he was taking advantage of those visits. Part of her hoped he was. Emma deserved a father who cared. But another part of her had let go of that hope. Emma would be okay either way, because she had Olivia, and Olivia would never leave. One evening, Olivia sat in their small living room watching Emma play with blocks. At 1-year-old, she was walking, babbling, becoming her own little person. She had Liam's eyes, but Olivia's smile. She was smart, curious, affectionate. She was perfect. "Mama," Emma said, handing Olivia a block. "Thank you, baby." Olivia pulled her daughter into her lap. "Mama loves you so much. You know that?" Emma giggled and kissed Olivia's cheek, a wet, sloppy baby kiss that made Olivia's heart melt. This, Olivia thought, this is what matters. Not money or status or fairy tales. Just this. Just us. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Olivia almost didn't answer, but something made her. "Hello?" "It's Sarah," her old friend from before Liam. They'd lost touch when Olivia's life fell apart. "Sarah, hi, how are you?" "I'm good. Listen, I heard you're working at Riverside Community Center. That's amazing. I'm actually calling because I have an opportunity you might be interested in." "What kind of opportunity?" "I work for a nonprofit that provides resources to single mothers. We're looking for a program coordinator, someone who understands what these women are going through, someone with experience. When I heard where you were working, I immediately thought of you." Olivia's heart started beating faster. "What would it involve?" "Managing support programs, connecting mothers with resources, advocating for policy changes. It pays $50,000 a year with full benefits. And Olivia, you'd be perfect for it. You've lived it. You know what they need. $50,000, more than double what she made now. Stability, security, a career helping others. Can you send me the details? I'll email them tonight. Think about it, no pressure, but I really think you'd be incredible at this. After hanging up, Olivia sat in stunned silence. A year ago, she was rationing baby formula and going to bed hungry. Now, she had opportunities, choices, a future. She applied for the job. 2 weeks later, she interviewed. A month after that, they offered her the position. Olivia started her new job feeling like she'd come full circle. From the girl lost in the storm, to the wife in the penthouse, to the abandoned mother scraping by, to this, a professional helping other women escape the same struggles she had faced. On her first day, she met with a young mother, 23, baby in arms, terror in her eyes. She said, "I don't know what to do. He left us. I have nothing. I can't feed my baby." Olivia sat down across from her, looked her in the eyes, and said with absolute certainty, "You're going to be okay. I know it doesn't feel like it right now. I know you're scared and overwhelmed and think you can't survive this, but you can, and I'm going to help you." "How do you know?" "Because I've been exactly where you are, and I made it through. You will too." Helping that mother, connecting her with resources, creating a support plan, seeing hope return to her eyes, Olivia felt something click into place. This was her purpose. This was why she'd survived all those impossible months, so she could help others survive too. That night, Olivia tucked Emma into bed in their small but safe apartment. She looked around at the life they'd built, humble but theirs. "We did it, baby girl. We made it through the storm, and we're going to be just fine." Emma slept peacefully, safe and loved. And Olivia finally felt at peace. She had lost the fairy tale, lost the millionaire, lost the perfect life she thought she wanted, but she'd found something better. She'd found herself. She'd found her strength. She'd found her purpose. And that was worth more than all the money in the world.